Hey, what's happening, gamers? Welcome back to Immortals Fenyx Rising on Kwingsletsplays. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell to be notified when more Immortals arrives. Special shoutouts to all our members, including our ultimates. If you guys want to hop aboard the membership train, all you gotta do is click right here, select the tier that works best for you, and thanks Ubisoft for providing a copy of this game. So, we're still on Olympus, or the Mountain of Zeus, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah!
And we are near Zeus's first wife that he ate. She had a castle or something here, so...
Oh yeah, the goddess of wisdom. Athena's mom.
Athena's mom, yep. Athena's mom. And we're going back to our heroic-looking armor. And there we go. Because it makes sense that we would wear this. We're near the end of the game, right?
Totes.
And it was actually a chore to get this armor. Whee! So I'm getting used to all these cold drafts and stuff like that. So as long as we stay near the flames, things get a little bit better for us. But, yeah.
Oh, right, yeah, so that you don't get frozen as much.
Well, I mean, that's what people are supposed to do. I thought I could easily just climb up the mountain.
Suddenly, monsters appeared. The action, the excitement.
Just stop it, Prometheus. Stop. Don't try to cheer me up. It's weird and uncomfortable.
Wow, this is depressing. Alrighty.
Yeah. I know, Zeus is so, he's just sad.
Yep. Alrighty then, so we've got a statue of Zeus here with a lightning bolt.
He likes lightning.
Yeah, he does. I'm not shocked.
Alright, yeah, Metis was the daughter of Oceanus and Tethys, and she was one of the Titans, and she was Zeus's first wife.
Yikes.
She was the goddess of wisdom, prudence, and deep thought. She bore 2 children, Athena and, I don't know, the other person, he died.
The other person got eaten.
Her brother, Athena's brother.
Whoops.
So yeah. Zeus was in such pain, he asked Hephaestus to hit his head with an axe after he ate his own wife. And as soon as that happened, then Athena jumped out fully clad in armor and became his favorite daughter.
Cheating on Hera. I wanted to have a good time. I didn't want to be a father. I didn't think about anyone but myself.
Ah, these chains are hurting.
We're talking about me right now, Prometheus.
Wow.
He's still a jerk!
Yep, still
Even
jerk.
when he's trying to talk about himself, it's like, dude, there are other people with other problems.
Hmm.
Oh.
I know, right? Alright, so thankfully there are these gusts of wind that we can use to get back up here. Whee! He totes looks like Kid Icarus.
Yeah,
He does.
he definitely does. I wish there were other pretty things flying in the sky besides harpies.
Well, I mean, the world is in disarray right now. It's up to Phoenix to save ancient Greece.
There's a lot of monsters around because... Yeah.
Typhon.
Yep.
There would only be a handful of monsters before then that, you know, are kind of messed up versions of the gods' kids.
Yeah.
Because apparently very few people actually can have a humanoid-looking child that's a god. But Zeus, when Zeus breeds, they are human-like.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, nuts. That's gonna be a problem. Oh no! We're gonna die! Just kidding. I think we're okay.
But yeah, people say that, like, I guess, like, Greek mythology and stuff says that, like, basically Zeus used to be a lot more irrational and, like, crazy before he ate his first wife. Because she was the goddess of wisdom, he actually kind of calmed down a tiny bit and made a few better decisions. But he still doesn't have the kind of, like, way to make decisions as Athena does. She's, like, very wise because of her mom.
That makes sense. Okay, so...
Too bad Athena is in charge of everything in Zeus, but at least Athena helps people along the way.
Yeah, but Athena has kind of her issues. Mainly because, you know, survivor's guilt.
Probably. Yeah, they all have issues.
right then. Has to be
It's
a way
like-
to do this.
I don't know, it's kind of weird, like, that, like, I don't know, it's like DC heroes are kind of based on Greek mythology,
Yep.
but at the same time, if you actually look at Marvel heroes and how they're all extremely flawed, they act more like Greek gods and goddesses.
No! Why?
But yeah, a lot of the DC heroes are based on Greek mythology. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Rather than you guys go through the joys of watching me probably fail over and over again, we're gonna jump cut. Alright, so I don't really like jump cutting, but this is getting really annoying, so I don't want to tell you how long it's...
2 hours later.
It's getting kind of close. It's, well, maybe not 2 hours, definitely 20 minutes.
Not 2 hours.
Nah, not 20 minutes. It's been about 10 minutes. Okay, let's try going up here and then maybe... I can... Oh, come on! Seriously? See, they do this so you can't cheese it! You could easily climb up the mountain, but they've added this stupid obstacle with, like... you freezing. Oh, jeez. And you can't do much. You have to use this gust of wind, and you have to do this perfectly so you can reach the other side. It's super annoying. Yes!
Whoa!
Yes!
You did it!
Oh my gosh, yes.
I didn't think we were gonna be able to do it. I mean, I totally believed in you.
I mean, we would do it eventually, but, you know.
Suddenly, a pearl rolled past. Phoenix wondered if the oyster was using camouflage.
Prometheus, please. Stop. It's so bad. It's like you went to some kind of clown school. Flunked out, turned to telling jokes through interpretive dance, and mistook your audience's cries of pain for laughter. Actually, I do feel a little better now.
Wow. That was...
So mean.
That was something.
I need to keep that line to say to somebody. Like if they make a bad joke. It's like you went to clown school, flunked out.
And then did interpreted dance, yeah. Yep. And tried to use your audience's pain for laughter or something.
That was funny.
Yeah, that was interesting. Alright, so where do we need to go
I'm
now?
wondering if these people are really the voice actors in this game. Are they Greek
No.
origin, or they're just making a Greek accent?
It's just a Greek accent.
Oh, they're doing a really good job, I feel like.
Like, all these companies, like, scream diversity, but when it comes down to it, they just hire really good actors to sound... They're not really Greek actors.
Honestly, though, like, this is what I don't understand about all this stuff. Is that, like, I know you're wondering what I'm going to say, but basically it just comes down to money. Like, you know, like, where's the cheapest way you can get it done? That it sounds Greek. If there was a Greek, you know, actor who could do it the cheapest, then they would hire that person. If there was an American actor who could do a Greek accent, they would do that one. That's honestly... I feel like people give companies such a hard time. You have to make money. You can't always be trying to please everyone. You've got to just do whatever the cheapest is that you can do, because it's hard to make money in life. Like, it really is.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Actually, you know, they might be... These guys might actually be Greek.
Really?
It's possible. I don't know. I don't... They look, not like your normal voice actors that I see. So
Ilana Dunkel does the Phoenix female voice. She looks kind of Greek.
It looks Greek. I sit corrected.
Aris Athanas does the Hermes voice. He looks pretty Greek. I mean, I'm just saying they look Greek. I don't know if they're Greek. Tyrone Savage does Phoenix. Danielle Matmore does the voice of Zeus. I can't tell if he looks Greek or not.
These are not your normal voice actors that I tend to hear in most Ubisoft.
The people sound like they have very Mediterranean names. Here's the guy who does the voice of... Yorgos somebody does the voice of Typhon. That sounds like a pretty
Yeah, I
Greek name.
think they are Greek or Mediterranean actors. I take it back. I can be wrong.
Just joking.
That's pretty cool. I am actually pretty impressed with Ubisoft. I thought they would do the cheaper option of getting, you know, local actors, but for this game they actually stepped it up, so that probably means they're going to get Chinese actors for the Chinese mythology DLC. Most likely.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Because I was thinking these are going to be like people like Troy Baker and Nolan North and just doing like exaggerated accents.
Yeah, these people sound like, it just, their names sound like they could be Greek. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Well, what I like about it is their voices actually make you feel like you're in Greece a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I like about the game.
It doesn't... I've heard some of the American actors like do accents, and sometimes it's like just knowing that they're American and who's doing the voiceover, it's like it doesn't really transport you. It's like if you're actually getting people of Greek descent, it's pretty cool.
Fenyx was
Yeah.
ambushed. I can't face all of these and beat Legiro. Got your back, Fenyx. Hear the battle cry of Ares and feel your blood boil.
Yeah! Come on, Phoenix!
Whoa!
Oh my gosh! Look at us!
Dang, Ares! Where were you before?
Whoa.
That was epic.
Ares helped us out there. Here's some trivia on this game.
Ooh.
Writer Jeffrey Yohalem explains that in adapting Greek myths for the game, he didn't want to avoid darker aspects of the gods and heroes altogether, but instead he tried to highlight those elements that could actually speak to our generation of people, that so we could relate to stories that we could relate to that are like it says a modern perspective that speaks to our current generation as human beings. So he tried to find stories that people today could relate to from Greek mythology, which I think he did a pretty good job, because most of these stories and the way Zeus is talking and stuff, it's like you can kind of understand what he's saying. So
I gave this game kind of a bad rep, you know, for 2020. I think it should have released in 2021 because there's really not a lot to play in 2021. I think having it come out in December was a mistake, or November. They should have waited 2 months.
I feel like everybody thought like this whole zombie apocalypse thing would be over.
I didn't. I made a joke. If you go back to one of our April videos, I said people are still going to be locked up at Christmas time, and people were like, "No, you're being pessimistic." It's like
I said that.
Nah.
I said that to my school when they said this will be 3 months and we'll be done. I said this will be 2 years.
yeah, by 2022. That's my guess.
And it's funny because I was talking to my aunt. She lives in Texas, and she's, she has family all over the world. She has family in South America.
Whoopsies.
And she said, yeah, it's going to be 2 years. Like, that's what she said to me. If you actually know how people are struggling with this in other parts of the world, you'll start to realize, like, this isn't just going on in one country. Like, this is, like, happening everywhere. Like, I think people lose that perspective because they don't realize, like, whoa, this is affecting everyone. And honestly, compared to, like, so actually some of my subscribers were talking to me about this and basically saying compared to, some of the countries that we're in that, like, I don't know, like, whatever, compared to if you go to some other countries that are dealing with this and they're having even worse lockdowns, like third world countries, we have it really good compared to how some countries are handling this.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just even look at a lot of countries where people literally they have to use public transportation to go into the big cities, and they're mainly farming people, and like all the public transportation was shut down for their country, and it's like people have nowhere to go. They're just like sleeping on the road, so it's been very hard for everybody. Fun facts with me. In other news, check out my little thing of my cat saying "Your soul is mine" on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah, you can
Let
do
us
that.
know what you want.
I was
to say
actually.
next.
I'm sorry. They are good actors, but a lot of them are Canadian. So
Well, maybe they're Greek Canadians. I don't know.
I don't know.
And Luke, you're getting our hopes up
I'm
and down
sorry.
and up again.
Well, they're good actors, okay?
Some of them sound like they could have Greek names, okay?
Some of them have to be of Greek descent.
And some of them don't. Some of them are like Bob or something. It's like
No,
not
they
saying
all
that Bob
have
couldn't
they all
be
have
Greek.
really unique names, but the actor who plays Phoenix, like the male version, he is Canadian.
Oh, I see. I'm just kidding.
Oh wow.
No, he sounds cool. He sounds great. I like Phoenix's voice.
We have a new armor change. Yeah, I like how Phoenix sounds in this.
He sounds very.
I like him better than Eivor in
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed.
My gosh.
This guy has like if this dude was Eivor's voice, I think that would have been better. And then you could have had Eivor be the Greek guy.
The problem I have with the voice of I probably shouldn't say this, but the
That's
problem
nice.
I have with the voice of Eivor is for the guy voice is he always sounds so unsure of himself, like he's kind of wimpy,
Yeah.
and it doesn't make any sense. Like I can understand like he's trying to be relatable or something, but honestly,
Viking guys are supposed to have deeper voices too. So for like a leader like that Eivor's supposed to be, so he's not. He doesn't have that alpha, you know.
Yeah, like how are people gonna like? Even if you had kind of a high pitched voice, like some leaders in history have, at least you would be more commanding about it. Like,
Yeah.
you would use whatever you had to your best advantage.
It's hard to see how
instead of sounding nervous. all the time.
Eivor is going to become the leader of his people because he just doesn't.
Like even if your voice is high, you should at least sound confident. Which he doesn't really sound confident.
No.
Like,
I would prefer if he didn't talk very much at all, so he could, because his actions are very cool.
Like, if you're gonna be a video game character and sound cool, like you should just give him a deep voice. Honestly, video game characters don't have to be like somebody you can relate to. Like you're supposed to be cool. Like it's like having Superman be like, "Hey guys, I'm Superman. Don't judge the voice." It's like, okay, well.
You gotta have gravitas.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird.
We have still not climbed the top of this mountain yet.
But I like this guy's voice, though. I like
Yeah.
Phoenix's voice.
It works.
He sounds like a relatable guy that becomes a hero. Like, the more and more he goes through the story, the more confident he sounds, which is perfect, so...
And he's supposed to have a cool voice because he's the storyteller of his village.
Oh, right, yeah, he's used to
So-
telling stories, so exactly.
That's what he does for a living before joining the army to battle Sparta, I guess is what. So, I mean, you could try to figure out a time where... I don't know if he's from Athens or where he is, but...
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm guessing he's probably from Athens.
It's possible. I mean, Athena's here. The Spartans didn't really worship Athena, from what I gathered.
No, that wasn't the patron saint of their town. I don't know who Spartans worshipped.
Might have been Ares.
It's possible.
What is that?
I mean,
Oh, those are mushrooms.
I mean, I'm sure everybody worshipped, like, Athena to a degree, but, like, especially in Athens, like, she was, like, super...
Okay, so let's get some more potions. Do that. Do that. Okay. And wait, what is this? Potion upgrades? Oh, no way.
We not been upgrading this whole time. We have 73.
Oh my
Points.
gosh, you could make yourself stronger with the purple potion? I had no idea. What? I'm literally I feel so stupid.
Wait, where are we? Oh yeah, we're at the end of the game. Oh,
We're at the end of the game and you can upgrade your potions. Who knew? Not me.
oh yeah, Luke, I knew that. I just thought you didn't want to know. No,
What, really?
I'm just kidding.
Oh,
No.
okay.
I'm just kidding. I'm just
Oh
kidding.
my gosh.
Oh, I like Phoenix's voice, and I actually like the girl voice. She's very spunky for the girl version
Yeah,
of Phoenix.
I like the girl version. of
I'm
Phoenix,
really
too.
glad that they did like two different, like they did both, and then like they did a really good job of that. Like, I don't know, they did a great job. Like the voice acting for the main character in this game was much better done than the voice acting for the girl and guy in the Viking Assassin's
Yeah,
Creed
I
game.
didn't. I mean, I like a lot of the actors that are in.
I didn't like the lead,
but I don't
guy
like
or
the lead.
girl.
I don't like the leads, which is surprising because the guy lead has actually been some really cool voices in the game industry. Thumbs up.
Wow.
So that to me is kind of surprising.
It's almost like
that he
they
would,
were-
and he has he has a baritone voice,
Honestly, like, I feel like...
but they probably asked him to lighten his voice or something for that role. I don't know.
why, but I feel like they want, like, I don't know. It's almost like they feel like they want people of Viking descent almost to, like, show that they're not, like too intimidating or something. Like, it's almost like they want them to...
Whoa.
I don't know. It kind of makes me sad, because why would you have to make yourself less, and why not be really cool and manly? I don't understand the problem.
So we're using our new potion upgrade. Trying to, anyway.
Yeah.
Not really seeing that drastic a change, to be honest. Whoa. Excuse me, coming through. Mr. Minotaur.
I guess it's all in the voice direction. Good job,
probably.
Phoenix. It's like that one thing where, like, Kevin Conroy once said about, like, Christian Bale. He's like, at some point, he's like, why did a voice director not be like, what were you thinking?
What is going on here? Yeah.
Like, so, yeah.
Alright, so those
Good
dudes are
job,
toast.
Phoenix.
Yay! Good job, Phoenix. Oh
I
my
don't know
goodness.
why, but this kind of thing, like the environments and stuff, picking up those things, remind me of Dauntless a tiny bit.
Oops.
It's like all these different games kind of like borrow ideas from each other, or just, I guess they start, I mean, I guess if you're in the game industry, you're going to be talking and sharing ideas with different companies. Just like if you're a game journalist, the same as a game developer, like you're going to be, you know, discussing with people. Like, people move around jobs all the time, so they could probably share ideas, like going from one job to the other.
Yeah, I switched my my title on I don't game journalist is not somebody I really want to be associated with anymore, like on Twitter, because they've just been past 2 months or something just completely insane.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be associated with that, so I switched my title to influencer. Because I mean, I pretty much do all the same thing as a journalist, but I'm disgusted by what game journalism has become. It's such a disgrace now that I don't know. It hurts me as someone who looked up to that career for so long, and I was so proud to be a part of it for
Yeah, you
close
did that
to
career for a long time.
like 11 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even want to call myself a retired journalist anymore. I like the term influencer or content creator, or, you know, I really like influencer. Alrighty, so, whoa, that dude looks massive. So, what's going to be going on in the channel today and for the remainder of January that I would like to look at? There's kind of slim pickings, but Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, we kind of talked about this in one of our Smash Brothers Versus videos, that we're going to be gearing up for some Scott Pilgrim action, because it's coming out on the Switch, which is pretty cool, yeah. And we did some stuff with that game a long time ago, but Amber was helping behind the scenes when we first started YouTube, and that game was really big on the PS3, I believe it was.
Yeah, I guess I was helping behind the scenes on that.
Yep, and that game is basically like, how do I explain this? River City Ransom, but it was done with newer tech, I guess you could say, like over 10 years ago. Had to be 10 years ago.
Phoenix spotted an elaborate representation of the fiery wheel
Oh
of
no.
King Ixion.
Ah, yes, the king who I strapped to a fiery wheel for all eternity because he tried to seduce my wife. Meanwhile, I had my pick of any woman or man I wanted. What a hypocrite I am.
At
Yes.
least he was also a murderer.
Yes, you are.
Of course he was. He's Ares' son. And I just insulted Ares again. It's too easy.
Zeus is just not that cool a guy. I also just wanted to let you guys know, there's been a lot of requests for us to do the Hitman game. That would never happen on this channel. Remember, we do have two channels. We have our fun collab channel, the Kwingsletsplays channel, and then we have the O1 channel where sometimes we look at some M-rated games. Other times we look at more whatevs.
Yeah, this channel was always supposed to be a safe place where everybody could watch, so... Like, just because the FTC is acting insane and tries to say that safe channels are somehow wrong...
What backwards thinking is that, you know?
It doesn't mean that we're gonna change our stance on what we're gonna have on the channel, because... Like... I mean... You know, in like 5-10 years, they're just gonna go back and they're gonna say that safe channels are right and everybody else is wrong. Like, they'll just keep going back and forth.
It's like a seesaw. Yeah.
It's better to just stay the same, because the government's insane. They're always gonna make new ridiculous laws, so...
I agree. One game that we were looking forward to that... I don't know if you remember this, it was a long time ago on one of the PAX or E3s we went to. There was this really cool looking ninja game called Cyber Shadow, and I believe it was 2 years ago, our friends over at Yacht Club Games, they became the executive producer or the sponsor for that indie developer, and it falls under the, I guess it would be the umbrella. It would fall under the umbrella of our friends at Yacht Club Games, and that game is coming out after your birthday. It's a NES-style... Ninja Gaiden / Metroidvania, very, very cool 8-bit, 16-bit game. I don't know how it's going to be difficulty-wise. Yacht Club is pretty good in terms of the balance like that, whereas The Messenger was just like, you know? So I think Cyber Shadow is going to be really cool. We're definitely going to do something with that game at the end of January. And I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, but it's called... Altier Ryza Lost Legends of the Secret Fairy or something like that. We've never looked at the first one that came out on the Switch a couple years ago, and I know there are a lot of people that are always talking about on their Twitter, like Ruga, and I think Ed and some other people are always like talking about this RPG series that's relatively new. But right now, we don't have any plans to do a crazy long RPG because we're finishing up Rice and Ruin Live. So, I mean, you know... I think with Scott Pilgrim, after this game wraps, because this has to be near the end of it, because we're here on Zeus's mountain doing some crazy stuff.
I think the mic is too close to my face.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
You're doing great. Audio levels are perfect. We've been
10 feet away from you.
No, it's picking up fine. We did a test like over 30 minutes ago, honey. Everything's fine. Just, you know, everything's good. Okay, so we can't go up here, so... Jeez. You're so... What is the word I'm looking for?
Sorry.
Whatever. Okay.
Stubborn,
Stop!
annoying.
No, I wouldn't say annoying.
Impossible.
No, that's not the right word either. That's not right.
So... Nothing.
Okay. We have barely any blue stuff left to do this arrow challenge.
Cool. That's cool that we've got all those games lined up.
2.
I'm thinking...
2 games.
I'm heavily thinking about in the future making a TikTok for my cat.
The Tower of
We'll see.
Peace,
My
the
gosh.
goddess of law, family, and equity.
Also, my ex-wife. She wanted to do everything by the book. Impossible to cheat on, so I dumped her. Didn't kill this one, though. Yet.
Ay vey, Zeus.
Zeus!
Seek therapy, but not with some dude that you chain to a wall where an eagle pecks out his liver every day.
The thing is, like, Zeus can't actually be tried for, like, doing anything, like, because he is the king of the gods, so... Nobody can tell him he's wrong, honestly.
No. Nobody really can. He's such a crazy character. Alright, so I guess this mandatory quest zone that we're in right now, yeah, mandatory myth challenge. We have to do something with the arrow.
I feel like they're poking fun at Zeus a lot in this game because obviously, like, you know, you and I are not Greek, so it's like, I feel like if this game was just a game that came out in Greece, I feel like they wouldn't be able to poke fun at Zeus as much. So it'd be like...
Yeah, I mean, well, this is an international game,
yeah,
but
I know.
yeah. That's going to have a lot of well, it might have longevity. We'll see how it does after 2021 when its wave of DLC stuff comes out. But everybody was asking, so you guys got some stuff for January that you want to do. What's going on in February? February is not all that much. Like, nothing I can think of that would be... We can't look at Werewolf Apocalypse because that's a M-rated game. And, my gosh. Super Mario World, Bowser's Story is the only thing I could think of. Remember that Super Mario 3D World with the cats that we did on Wii U back when our YouTube channel was like popping like so hard?
Yeah.
And that's actually, people were like, when did you guys actually do your Twitch channel? It would have been 2014, 2015, something like that.
We've had it a long time. It's just
The time like
we used to. I don't know. We used to have lots of like basically. I thought we could actually stream while you were uploading before.
Oh, in Boston? Yeah.
That was the problem, is now we can't really do Twitch as much because Luke can't upload a video and stream at the same time, which is the only way we could actually do Twitch. Mm-hmm. We can't stream and upload at the same time anymore because our internet is so bad here. I'm hoping if we move towards Chicago, we can actually stream and upload at the same time, and then I'll probably never see Luke again.
I don't think so. Our Avalon apartment was 2 floors, so I mostly stayed upstairs. Amber had her little loft area with her piano.
Well, now I've gotten used to being around you more.
Yeah. So our new apartment that we're looking at, which we're not going to tell you guys where, it's in Chicago. It's a 1-floor apartment with 2 bedrooms, I believe a washer and dryer unit inside one of the things that we thought was a closet.
Luke, if we end up being more successful, like, on YouTube when we get towards Chicago, we should just keep that apartment at that price and then just, like, save up for a house or something.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, apartment prices always go up, like, $50 or something like that.
But I mean, like, that apartment is going to be... It's cheaper than our first apartment in, Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. So,
and you guys don't have to worry about us moving. It's not like when we moved from Boston, like our content actually increased. I don't think Amber and I can survive increasing our workload, but there might be some differences that you'll notice. Like if a video is being uploaded during the upload times, it might be possible to go over to Twitch or do something else. I failed the challenge. Whoopsies, didn't mean to do that. Let's try this again. This is the worst arrow challenge ever. I hate this. I'm just letting you guys know this is super annoying. I don't like it. Okay? I know, I should have upgraded the stupid Apollo arrow, but still, this is super dumb. Okay, I'm done with my little rant.
yeah.
I'm just...
No, I mean, like, I'm hoping that... I mean, I don't want to pay, like, 5 times the amount for internet there or something. Mm-hmm. Like, I hope we don't, you know, go crazy on internet, like, costs, because I think we can get away with having bare-bones internet and it'd still be way better than here, because...
Well, Pennsylvania, in 2018, 2017, they started their new thing of bandwidth limits. I don't know what's going on in Chicago yet, so, I mean, we might... If they have Comcast, then we just take our Comcast service with us, and our Comcast business stuff, like, continues over in Illinois. But the difference is, of course, the Comcast business internet would be better. We have the best that they have here. Now it'd be the same price.
Well, I mean, we wouldn't have to get business internet if we just had...
If they don't have the bandwidth limits.
Right. I'm saying, why would we pay more if we could just get the same for less?
I'm looking into it still, honey. I don't know yet. Ah, finally.
Ixion went after Hera. You tricked him with a cloud instead?
Yes, I thought it was hilarious. How irresponsible. They had a kid who was deformed, constantly ostracized and rejected by mortals, to the point that he ended up only finding peace with horses. Laying with horses. He died sad and alone.
Look on the bright side. At least the horses he lay with gave birth to the centaurs.
Sexy horse people that make us ask uncomfortable anatomy questions. Try again.
Now, supposedly there was supposed to be somebody that was strapped to that fire wheel or something like that.
Yeah, that's the king, the guy Zeus, the guy that ended up...
Hera.
Basically, yeah, he ended up trying to seduce Zeus' wife. Mm-hmm. And he actually, the reason why he was in Olympus was like that basically Zeus felt bad for him because I think he killed somebody and he was an evil person, an evil king. So then he suffered punishment for that for a long time. And then Zeus felt bad for him, so he's like, okay, you've repented. Let's bring you up to Olympus and I'll help you feel better. And then he got to, hang out with the gods up there for a little bit. And then he saw Zeus' wife and he was like, oh, who's this? And yeah. Then when Zeus found that out, he was real mad. So, yeah.
I mean, if just to touch back on something, if you're worried about internet stuff, I can ask Abdallah about it, because he was in Chicago for the longest time. Like, he would know internet stuff more than I would,
Yeah, I mean, you could ask him, definitely.
So I don't get, like, some company trying to pull the wool over our eyes.
Yeah, I mean, you could ask him, definitely.
Woot!
I mean, I don't want to pay 3 times the amount I'm supposed to pay
Of course.
for the same thing. I actually I've been watching this.
Venus was also the goddess of prophecy.
1 sec, sweetie.
And help.
Let the lightning from
Whoops.
my hammer strike warm your way.
Oh,
Come back?
That woman
okay.
could tell the future, see everything, hear everything. Do you know what it's like to already have screwed up before you even done anything? Still have nightmares.
Minority Report.
Yeah, totally. Being convicted for things that you just thought of. That's crazy. That's totally that Tom Cruise movie. You were saying, sweetie?
Oh, no, I was just saying, like, I mean, I think I talked about this before, but I was watching that one channel, Prepper Princess, where she actually saves, like, she works at an office and she saves 2/3 of her income, and she's always, like, saving all this money. And she was saying how she actually got the exact same phone service for, like, 1/3 of the cost. Like, she had AT&T, and then she went to this other service place.
The Olympians think a pathetic army of demigods can stop me?
So her phone bill was like maybe it wasn't 1/3 of the cost. It was like $75 for her phone bill, and she went to this other place and she got the exact same service for $30. And she got unlimited, like, call and text for $30.
Wow.
It was like, and she said, like, sometimes she would actually just call the company if she was just be like, this seems a little high, I'm probably going to cancel. And they would just lower it just because she called randomly, and they wouldn't change anything. They just lower the amount.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so she was, like, saying all this stuff where, like, half the stuff that people pay for, like, it's probably because we just allow companies to overcharge us.
Oh, yeah, speaking of that, I need to pay our phone bill before the 18th.
And I'm just saying, like, I think, like, people could probably, if we all demanded lower phone bills, I really think that they would have to give us, it's ridiculous how much they're charging for the phone and stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean,
so-
I'd like to pay $30 for a phone.
Oh, I know you would.
She's doing $30 for one phone line.
Yeah.
That's a cell phone.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, could we do that then, if that's cool?
I'll look into it more, because if it doesn't have service in our area, we can't do it. Like, you have to have service.
We know, but I'm just saying, like,
I know what you're trying to do.
I don't think you do.
Okay. So, anyway, let's see. Persona questions we've been getting a lot of. And you remember that Dynasty Warriors game that was revealed on Switch a couple years ago, and we've been waiting for it to come out? Well, supposedly, I don't know if this is true or not. I'll let you guys and gals let us know. But I believe, because it's part of the Persona series, that Nintendo decided they're just going to rate it M. Because of...
Oh, right, the Dynasty Warriors game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking about that on my Age of Calamity streams, and I was talking about how we might play a rated M Dynasty Warriors game on this channel. A lot of people started freaking out a lot.
We're still deciding on it, because, I mean, if it's just violent, that's no problem, but unfortunately the American versions of Persona games have a lot of lewd language, I guess.
I just mentioned it even a tiny bit on one stream, and, like, people just kept talking
People
about
started
it.
losing their minds.
They started talking about it the entire stream, and
Oh
I
my
had to
gosh.
keep explaining. I said, well, it's just an idea. Like, I'm not even definitely going to do this. Like, it was just an idea. I was just trying to ask, like, what people thought. And then they kept, like, saying stuff over and over and over again. Like, maybe there's more stuff bad in it. And this is like, I know. I was just saying it's a possibility. I didn't even say we're going to do it.
Yeah, it's not a 100% concrete deal yet because I'm really looking forward to the Ghosts and Goblins remake that's coming out.
The truth is, there are all kinds of games on the border between teen and M. And, like, for instance, there are some games that, like, for instance, like the Ezio game that I'm, the first one. Honestly, that would probably be rated teen today, but it was
Yes.
rated M back then.
I totally agree.
And then we were playing that one teen rated game on our channel that one time, and it really should have been rated M. It had, F-bombs in it and everything, and it was extremely violent, but they rated it teen for some reason, and we didn't realize that it was that bad, so we played it. So you guys have to understand, the rating system is not always, like, accurate. Like, there are some things that should be rated M that are rated teen. There are some things that should really be rated teen that say they're rated M, especially older games that are rated M. Like, that was rated M then. Like, today it would definitely be teen.
Exactly. Yep.
Like, it's a completely different. M, like, years ago is just completely different than rated M now.
You know your stuff, sweetie. I'm impressed. I really am.
So, I mean, that's all we're saying. Like, if it's a Dynasty Warriors game and they drop a few F-bombs so they rate it M, then if we switch it to Japanese dialogue and that's all it is, then we can easily play it on this channel. I mean, because the thing is, we're already getting rid of whatever would have been rated M. We're already censoring it for you guys, so...
As long as they don't, like, switching it to the Japanese language that they actually have, I mean, it's easier to censor text. I mean, if we did it as a series, then it is possible that we could censor the what do you call it? Like the words?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than, like, a lot of people, like a lot of people wanted us to go full-blown, like, just forget any kind of, anything at all and don't have any standards at all for things. So it's like, for me, I just feel like we kind of get pushed and shoved around both ways when we try to have some kind of standards.
I agree.
Because then nobody is happy, but I don't know. But oh well.
I think you handled that really well. That was a great response to that. I really appreciate that. There's a Capcom collection coming out that I'm pretty excited about in February. And Ghosts and Goblins is getting, I think it's 35 years. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
There's a lot of 35 anniversary things this year. You got Legend of Zelda, Metroid, Kid Icarus. I think Ghosts and Goblins is one.
What I don't like is, though, like, people like are always like, if you play this, I'll unsubscribe. But then I see the same people on other streamers' sites that are playing all kinds of rated M stuff. It's kind of, like, not fair to hold us to that standard. Like, if you're watching all kinds of other people that are doing that, that's what I honestly believe.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll listen to the rest of the games, and then I have something to tell you about a weird product that Snuggie like that I saw a commercial for.
Wait, is it the Snuggie cult thing again?
No, it's like...
Worse? Weirder?
It's called, like, the hoodie or something.
The hoodie?
.com or something like that.
Is
And it's basically like a hoodie made out of a fleece blanket, but it's like got 3 or 4 layers of
Wait, you want it?
fleece.
Really?
No, it's basically, look at the sweater dress I'm wearing right now. Where it's extremely, like, it basically goes a little past your knees, very poofy, except there would be 3 layers of this, and it would be a blanket, and then it would have a hood.
Door's open. Alright, let's see what we get after all that work. Armor. Breastplate of the Eagle.
It's basically like a giant hoodie and a blanket combined. And, like, I don't know, they're just showing, like, people doing all kinds of tasks. Was it at home, like, chopping, like, vegetables for making soup? Like, sitting there and... What? Oh, wow.
It looks terrible. You can see his exposed man nipple. Sorry.
I don't understand why everybody is always.
I mean, that can't be comfortable,
You're gonna
though.
use it, aren't you? Isn't it cold? Why is he?
I mean, it's got lightning around it. Maybe it's
Okay.
warmer than it looks. You can kind of see the lightning surrounding him, right?
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of. And it matches our Zeus wings.
I mean, they were like saying this is great for camping, etc. I feel like the only reason they would make a hoodie blanket in this year is because everyone's at home and like they're basically like oh, say goodbye to cold thermostats. You can just wear a blanket 24/7 around you.
I mean, that's what I do, but
Yeah, so it'd be like a blanket that and then, like that's around you all the time, but it only goes to your knees.
I like my cape.
My thing is like my legs are the ones that are always cold, so it's like for me.
You wearing your thigh highs or socks? Socks.
Well, I got socks, but I also have these little pants on, so
Okay.
I mean,
I'm gonna. I'll show you where because I got those really nice winter thigh highs for you. I put them upstairs.
oh, like long socks, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're not really. They're not really thigh highs. They're Korean lawn socks that like a lot of girls wear in like the school system. We got a good deal on them, and you said you really liked them, so I wanted to order
Yeah, I
more.
like knee-high socks.
So I want to get you some more for your birthday, among some other cool stuff. So yeah, we're gonna be doing Totally Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection. So a lot of people have been asking about that. Are we gonna beat Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection? Probably not, but we're definitely gonna do a video or two on it because Ghosts and Goblins is a very, very hard game.
Oh right, yeah. Ghosts and Goblins.
One of the hardest games of all time. Because you have to play through the game twice in order to complete the story.
Oh wow.
And the first time you play through it is nigh impossible. And then the second time you play through it, it's even more difficult. So it's like nigh never. I don't know. So yeah, but I'm super excited that they are remaking it. It looks really good. It's the only Capcom thing coming out that's confirmed right now. And of course you have the Ace Attorney Apollo collection that's rumored to be coming out in I think it's April, something like that. And that's the Apollo stuff is when Ace Attorney, like Phoenix, is older and he has a protege, Apollo Justice, I believe, and then Phoenix's adopted daughter, who looks a lot like his former boss, is a magician girl. And she is his daughter in that series.
Okay.
And I believe the first game is about like helping Phoenix not be seen as a bad guy. And then in the later games you can play as Phoenix again, like where he's, you know, not under murder investigation, which he didn't do it, but you know, it was just kind of like, how can we make this edgier? Oh, I know. We're gonna make Phoenix the guilty party again, which had already happened to him before. He was already put on trial in the prequel game to Ace Attorney, like for the murder of a friend of his because of Delilah. I think that was her name.
Yeah, Delilah.
Bravely Default 2 is scheduled for the 26th of February. That's still supposedly coming out. So, I mean, that's the RPG I've been waiting for because I loved the first Bravely Default on the 3DS. So this is a continuation of that one. And it'll be on Nintendo Switch on the 26th of February. And then there's...
Wow, that's interesting that you can remember all these dates.
Thank you. Well, I mean, I was a game reporter, so I'm pretty decent with that. And I believe the crazy thing about March is you have both... This is going to be crazy. You have the new Harvest Moon game coming out that everybody's been talking about. And at the same time, the new Story of Seasons game is coming out like within a 2-week window.
Oh, wow.
So it's like both Harvest Moon games are going to fight to the death. Because usually what happens is Harvest Moon fans, like they'll play one or the other, right? There's never been a time where you had to choose, are you going to play Story of Seasons or Harvest Moon that year? Because they would release every other year.
So they're made by the same company?
No. Story of Seasons is Marvelous, and Harvest Moon is Natsume. Natsume kicked Marvelous out. Marvelous were the ones who created Harvest Moon.
Marvelous are the original creators of Harvest Moon. Mm-hmm. And those are the ones you like, the Marvelous ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I don't like the gameplay style of the new Harvest Moon games.
Well, also like the people that made the Harvest Moon the way everybody knows and loves are Marvelous. Mm-hmm. Those are the people that know how to make it really good.
Yep. Correct,
so which one is the one that's made by Marvelous then? The
Story of Seasons.
Story of Seasons.
The one with the cutesy art, and then Harvest Moon, they've made it look more video game-like.
Oh, okay.
So they're more like humanoid looking and not really anime. Although the new Story of Seasons game kind of doesn't look the cutesy way. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I don't know if I'm super interested in it. I haven't decided yet.
Yeah.
But I mean, we work with Marvelous on occasion. That is a big table.
Yeah, I wonder if that's supposed to be some kind of important table in a story or something. There's a golden apple and a golden wreath there on the table.
Wasn't the golden apple something that Hercules did?
I have no idea.
I think so. That's where the gods have their dinner.
I mean, it could be King Midas who turned everything to golden.
It could be, yeah.
I don't know. That was such a dark story when I learned that when I was growing up, especially when King Midas, if he would try to eat something, then it would become metal in his mouth and it would like hurt his mouth trying to eat it. Mm-hmm. I was just like cringing at that because I was thinking, oh my gosh, because if you've ever accidentally like bit your tongue or anything that, you can just picture King Midas just trying to eat and him just being like, ah!
My tongue is turned to gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bit my tongue the other day when I was eating some hot food because I was so.
Yeah, you did on a stream.
Yep.
It was like not. I haven't done that in a long time. Usually, if someone gets you talking and you're not paying attention, you can totally do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's the joy of streaming. I got 2 streams tonight. And
well, you can tell me the rest of the stuff. I'm sorry.
Oh no, sweetie, I'm trying to figure out this stupid puzzle now. I'm sure people want me to get on with this. So I mean, I wasn't really paying attention too much. It looks like, don't worry about that, people. That's a stupid Hermes run thing. We'll accomplish that later. I think in the back of my mind, what we need to do is these doors here are being opened by this mechanism. You can see right there. And we've got like kind of this incline. So I'm not really seeing anything we could really roll onto there though. I mean, those rolly things, you see it? Like the little ball with the light that's inside that gate. So when we were doing these challenges or the Tartarus zones, whatever you want to call them, you would find like this round ball that usually you would push and it would have enough weight to trigger the mechanism and then solve the puzzle. But for the life of me, I've been running back and forth here, and I haven't seen any round boulders. So I'm not really sure if this is supposed to be the mandatory challenge or not, but it definitely looks like there's something behind that gate. So when I was talking about some of the cool stuff we're going to be doing, yeah, I wasn't paying attention as much, but I was having fun just explaining to Amber what's going on for the next month or two.
Yeah, I kind of forgot a lot of it, but I'll just rewind this video.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I always I text you. I mean, there's other than the Scott Pilgrim game coming out on the 14th, there's really nothing until that cool ninja game.
You say that like every single year that we've done this channel. You always say that.
January and February is really not.
You always say that though. Almost.
I know.
I mean, I can literally go back to 2013 when you're talking about how there's nothing. You always say there's nothing.
Right. That's why they call it the game drop. But now it's 2021 game drought, so that's going to be even more interesting.
But yeah, what I was saying about this weird blanket thing is they wouldn't have designed that stupid blanket that you carry around you unless it was 2020 because...
That'll work.
You know what I'm saying or no?
Yeah. I was just thinking that that little round ball, when I think we're supposed to use those to open the gate. Continue.
Usually, though, when you're done saying what you say, then you actually would respond to me after that.
About the Snuggie blanket thing?
Anything. Like, I could pick any topic at all. I would think you would, like,
I'm just distracted by shiny stuff.
Okay,
Sorry.
well, I guess I'll sit here and wait until you're done distracted so you can respond to me.
I vaguely heard what was going on with the Snuggie blanket. I'm sorry.
I can repeat it for the fourth
Sure.
time.
Okay, that works for me.
I just said that if it wasn't 2020, they wouldn't have probably made it.
I think you're right. I think that
'Cause it's a stupid design.
it's a stupid design, but the reason why they're making it is because a lot of people are out of work, and even though I don't know how they would afford this blanket, but at the same time they would save on heating costs, but people need to
Yeah,
understand that you have to keep your heat at least 55 or your pipes will freeze and then burst,
Yeah.
and that would be very bad.
That's what they kept saying. They were like, goodbye thermostat, and like throwing it away.
No, you can't throw out your thermostat. You have to keep like, I keep my temperature at about 68, 69.
No, I mean, I am interested in the games, I guess, you're
know.
talking about. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it does, like, we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. You don't like talking about what I like talking about, so.
Oh no, I think it was interesting. There was a lot going on, sweetheart. This puzzle and just talking about what's going on, and you know, I guess I can't do everything. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, that's not gonna work. I thought that was the right hole though. It's the one next to it. Blast. There we go.
It's not as interesting to talk to after so many years.
Oh, you were very interesting to talk to. Give yourself more credit. Okay, so...
I do give myself credit. You don't like listening to me.
Oh, I do listen to you. It's just, you know, a lot of stuff going on in my head right now. Okay, so then I guess the last ball is going to be inside that gate that we found that was closed off. Wasn't there like water or something nearby it?
I don't know.
Yeah, there was. Okay. So this has to be where the last ball is. So then right out here, if memory serves correctly, there was some bubbles in the water.
I thought we have lots of stories we're doing Sakuna.
Finishing Sakuna, yep. Finishing this.
I thought you were starting to stream like Zelda or something like that at night.
I've got like 1 or 2 streams left of Zelda, and then I want to start Kamen Rider.
We're doing Smash Brothers Versus. We're doing this game. Oh yeah, you want to do Kamen Rider. I thought your Kamen Rider game got destroyed.
It's going to be coming in the mail again pretty soon, so
Yeah.
I believe so. Alright, there we go. So now we just have to find a way of triggering these feather thingies.
I usually have my mind distracted and you're always saying, get your head in the game. So it's okay for you.
No, it's fine.
Ooh.
Okay, so...
I wonder what we should do next.
Well, we need to find a way of triggering these mechanisms because we can't get the ball out. So, I saw some rocks on the way in, so if I could just somehow get one of the rocks in here, or at least to where that gate is, then I can find a way of dragging the rock in, but I'm gonna have to go swim underneath again.
Ooh.
That'll do. That's a perfect size. So when I throw this, it'll break into like 2 or 3 pebbles, and that should be enough for us to put on top of the feather mechanism.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Good times, good
Yeah,
times.
I feel like the invention is ridiculous. Like, I don't know, it's just dumb.
Oh, the Snuggie sweater?
Yeah.
I mean, you could just get a really nice shawl or just a blanket to wear around, or
Well,
like
I
a
mean-
cape.
I mean, it's interesting. It's probably going to cost like a lot of money, though. Honestly.
of course.
Like, they have this whole website just for that product, so it's just like, okay, well,
That's kind of weird, yeah.
they're going to overcharge people for something when they already don't have. It's like, oh, you don't have money for heating, so let's overcharge you for a product.
Yep.
I just think that this whole 2020 thing is so ridiculous. Like, everything is ridiculous about it. It's like,
Bingo.
oh, people are sick, so let's take away everyone's jobs, therefore they can't afford health insurance to get...
But we'll give them a Snuggie sweater. If the government made it, it would be priceless.
Well, I think that... I mean, I honestly don't... Like, if something... I mean, I'm surprised that... I mean, I'm surprised that more people aren't moving back with their family or something. Like, I'm surprised that the people we know are still surviving. Like,
Yes!
I mean, I don't know what's going on with your sister or my brothers, but it's like, I don't know.
No idea.
Like,
I don't really follow their Facebook.
how
so.
are they... Like, how are young people actually, like, surviving right now? Like, I don't even know how people can afford to live without... I mean, people need money. I don't understand.
The constellation of justice, shining over mortals, symbolizing your power, O Zeus, to weigh their actions.
That takes me back. Remember when I created them?
Created what? Humans?
First, the Titans roamed the earth. You and me and the other gods defeated them.
Those were good times, Zeus.
Yes, they were. Then it was safe to make mortals. First, I tried fashioning them out of gold. They were perfect. It was so boring, so I ended them.
Oh my gosh.
Next, I tried silver. But they were so dumb, they just kept hurting themselves. So then, I used brass.
That was a huge mistake. They just kept fighting each other until they no longer existed.
Oh, wow.
Then, there was the fourth race. The heroes. They were just awesome. Love those guys.
What did you fashion them out of?
That was the problem. I lost the recipe card.
So that brings us to now.
The fifth age. I made them of iron.
The best of the lot.
Well, you better think so. If you hadn't stolen fire from the gods to give to those puny mortals, you wouldn't be here, chained to a rock.
You know you have the power to change that, right? You put me here?
The Iron Mortals were a problem from
Oh my
the start,
gosh.
and they got worse with each generation. I'm already thinking of trying grape juice for the sixth. Or olive oil. Everyone loves that.
What was wrong with the Iron Mortals exactly?
The decadence, the selfishness, forgetting to wash their hands. They pursue pleasure and power single-mindedly and defy or create authority. They're too extreme and too messy.
Sounds a lot like you.
Hey, I guess it does.
Wow, Zeus.
Wow, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
The world before Zeus was a place of chaos and suffering.
It's the same now, too. I've accomplished nothing.
Okay, pity party. So anyway, guys and gals, that's going to do it for today. Stay tuned for an awesome live stream tonight at 8 o'clock on something awesome. And be on the lookout for more of our Immortal series and lots of fun things coming your way. Lots of exciting things coming your way, like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World and so much more. Until then, God bless and happy gaming. Thanks so much for watching.
See ya!